Hi, in this video training of Node.js, we will be learning about Node.js utility modules. There are several utility modules available in Node.js module library. These modules are very common and are frequently used while developing any Node-based application. This is the list of modules that are called utility modules. The first one is OS module. It provides basic operating system related utility functions. The next one is path module. It provides utilities for handling and transforming file paths. The third one is net module. It provides both servers and clients as streams. It acts as a network wrapper. Then we have the DNS module. It provides functions to do actual DNS lookup as well as to use underlying operating system name resolution functionalities. At the end we have the domain module. It provides ways to handle multiple different I/O operations as a single group. Okay, let's look at the first one. It is the OS module. Node.js OS module provides a few basic operating system related utility functions. This module can be imported using the following syntax. So we can create a OS object and require the OS module. This is an example code where we are utilizing some of the properties and function of the OS module. Let's create a project directory for this video training. I'm going to call it Node Utility Modules. Okay. Sorry, I was going to create the folder first. Sudo mkdir. Okay. Node utility modules, and let's go into this folder and let's create our first Node OS module example. Okay, here we are. Let's get started. Let's create the OS object by requiring the OS module. Okay, and DNS. Okay, console.log and OS dot. Okay, sorry, there's a code from. Okay, DNS. Think ENDIANNESS. Okay. Then we have OS type. I'm going to copy this and I can say here type OS dot type. Okay. Then we have OS platform. I can say here platform and the function is OS dot platform. The next is total system memory, and say total memory equals OS dot total mem, and this is in bytes. Okay. Then we can fetch total free memory. You can say free memory, and the function is free mem, and this is also in bytes. Okay, looks exciting. Okay, let's save this file, go to the console and let's run this example. Node sudo OS module. Okay, you see the first thing we have is DNS. This is LE. LE means long-term support, and then we have type. Type is Linux platform is also Linux. Then we have the total memory. Total memory is around 12 GB. Then we have the free memory. Free memory is around 6 GB. So we can also convert this memory in megabytes. Divide by 1024, save the file, go to the console, and this we have in megabytes, and we can also convert it into megabytes. So that's it for the OS module. The next is the path module. Node.js path module is used for handling and transforming file paths. This module can be imported using the following syntax. So we can create the path object by requiring the path module. Let's create a JS file for this. I'm going to create node path module.js. Okay, let's create the path object. Require the path module. Okay, normalization console.log and normalization concat with path.normalize. Okay, here we can say test1 /2 slashes and 1 slash and tab / dot dot. Okay, then we have join. Let's copy this here. Okay, and I can say joint path, and I can use the function path.join. Test, and then we have test1. Okay, then we have 2 slashes / 1 slash, and at the end we have the tab, and then the 2 dots at the very end. Okay, then we have the resolve function. Let's copy this. Okay, resolve path plus resolve. Okay, let's just use the current file name node path module.js. Okay, and at the very end we have the extension name, extension. Okay, path.txt name, and let's use the file name as well. Now let's go to the console and run this program. The first one we have is the normalization. If you see that the normalization or the normalize function have removed the double / from the URL. Let me show you. We use 2 / here, and it removed one of them to make it normal or normalize it, and it also removed the last tab and the last 2 dots to normalize it. That's how the normalize function works in the path module. The second one is the join function of the path module. It joins or concatenates different strings. For example, we gave it test1. You see it added / automatically between the 2 strings. Similarly, it added it here and it added it here as well. So it automatically joined the strings to create a full path. The next one is resolve function. The resolve function, as you can see here, gave us a full absolute path of the file which we mentioned in our code. So that's what the resolve function do. And the last one here is the extension name. Extension name simply returns us the extension name of the file that we passed in the ext name function, and it returned us with .js. So these were some of the functions that you can utilize by using the path module. The next and an interesting module is the net module. Node.js net module is used to create both servers and clients. This module provides an asynchronous network wrapper, and it can be imported using the following syntax. So you can create a net object by requiring the net module. Okay, let's create a example for this. For this example, I'm going to create two files. One is the server file and the second one is the client file. So we are going to demonstrate a client-server communication and how a client-server application can be written using Node.js. Okay, let's create the server.js file first. Let's go to the console. I'm going to create node net module server.js. Okay, here we are going to create a net object by requiring the net module. Okay, server equals net dot create server, and within the server we are in the action. Okay, console.log client connected. Basically this will be returned by the server when the client connects to the server. Connection dot on end function, and I can copy this console.log here. Okay, okay, client disconnected. Okay, pay attention here that this function and this output is produced when the client is disconnected from the server. Connection dot write hello world, and let's add a line break and a return here. Okay, line return. Connection dot pipe connection. Okay, okay, this is basically part of the main connection function. Okay, then we have server dot listen port 8080 function, console.log server is listening. Okay, you can use any port you want. We are just using 8080 for our own ease. You can use any port above 1024 port, and all these ports are available, so you can use any one of those. Okay, that's it for the server.js file. The next is the client.js file. Now we need a client file to connect to the server. So I'm going to create node network module client.js. Okay, create a net object here, var client equals to net.connect, and we are going to mention the port where the client will be connecting, and then we have inner function that says console.log connected to the server. Okay, all right. Okay, basically this ends here and we don't need an extra curly braces. The next thing is client.on data. This function executes when a data is received from the server to the client. I can say data.toString. Client.end. Okay, and then we have client.on end function. Then in this function we can say console.log disconnected from the server. So basically this function will run when the client is disconnected from the server. To run this example, we need two terminal windows. Okay, I'm going to create another one. Okay. Now let's run the server file node network. Let's clear the screen first. There's a lot of mess here. Node module, node net module server.js. Okay. Okay, as you can see, we have ran the node net module server.js and it says server is listening. Now let's go to the other terminal window and execute the client.js file. You can see it says connected to the server, hello world, and then disconnected from the server. Let's look at the other window and it says server is listening, client connected, client disconnected. So the server is still listening, and let's change some of the code in on our client side, and we can say client has been disconnected from the server, and say client connected to the server. Let's run the client again. See, it says client connected to the server, hello world, and client has been disconnected from the server. So hello world was sent by the server to the client. So we can modify our server as well. We can say this is the server, Node.js server. Let's save it and let's run it again. It will reproduce the same old result because we need to restart the server to get the updated result from the server. You see, we have now, this is the Node.js server which we changed in our Node.js file. Don't worry about the code, you will be able to download it from my GitHub repository of Node.js, and I have included the link to the GitHub repository in the video description. So you can simply download it from there and run it on your computer to explore this example. Okay, the next one is the DNS module. Node.js DNS module is used to do actual DNS lookup as well as to use underlying operating system name resolution functionalities. This module provides an asynchronous network wrapper and can be imported using the following syntax. So you can create the DNS object by requiring the DNS module. Let's create an example file for this topic. To create Sublime node DNS module.js. Okay, let's create the DNS object by requiring the DNS module. Then we have DNS.lookup. We can say www.google.com, and we can say function on lookup error address and family. Okay, say console.log address. Okay, DNS dot reverse address function error and host names. If error console.log error.stack. Okay, it's better if we put this in the curly braces. Console.log reverse for address json.stringify host names. Okay, that should be it. Let's save this file and run it in the console. Node DNS module. Okay, you see it has returned the address of google.com. It says 172.217.21.36, and it has returned the reverse host names of Google. So this is an array with the reverse DNS data. This is a very useful module and you can use its different functionalities. The last one is the domain module. Node.js domain module is used to intercept unhandled error. These unhandled error can be intercepted using internal binding or external binding. If errors are not handled at all, then they will simply crash the node application. Internal binding is basically error emitter is executing its code within the run method of a domain. In external binding, error emitter is added explicitly to a domain using its add method. This module can be imported using the following syntax. So you can create the domain object by requiring the domain module. The domain class of domain module is used to provide functionality of routing errors and uncaught exceptions to the active domain object. It is a child class of event emitter. To handle the errors that it catches, listen to its error event. It is created using the following syntax. First you create the domain object and then you create the child object by calling the domain.create method. This is a full-fledged example of a domain module. To save time, I can copy this example in our code. First, I'm going to create a node domain module.js file, copy it here, and then I can copy the rest of it here. I'm going to save this file and let's run it in the browser. On the console. Node domain module.js. You see it says listener handle this error to be handled by listener. Then we had domain 1 handle this error to be handled by domain 1. Okay, that's all about this video training, and we learned about different Node modules which are called utility modules. These are very handy when you are dealing with different type of requirements in your project. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would like to mention that all this source code is available on my Node.js Git repository, and I included the link in my YouTube video description, so you can download it from there and execute them on your machine as well. See you next time with a new topic in Node.js.